This is a review of last night's Sasquatch Watch Radio, which was a pretty interesting show. The show was great, but the chat, well, there were some interesting things going on in the chat. You had, well anyway, the show was principally about ridicule, and about how researchers get ridiculed by others all the time, whether it be from fellow researchers or from the general public. The main one who called in to talk about ridicule was John Cartwright, JC, and he talked about the ridicule that he has faced as a result of having reported his sighting. He's faced ridicule from Bigfooters. He's even faced ridicule in a newspaper article by Lee Hart, and just basically the gist of the show was about the ridicule that we do face as Bigfooters, and especially the witnesses, those witnesses who have faced ridicule. There are several callers, including Smiter, who gave an interesting opinion about myself and Sean Forker. He said that we were ridiculing him. We were mocking and making fun of him, which we were not. But anyway, that was Smiter's opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Then let's see, who else called in? I called in and I talked about the fact that my grandfather somewhat ridiculed me about my interest in Sasquatch. God rest his soul, of course. But he became very skeptical. He became very convinced that there was no such animal when we went to Fouke, Arkansas in 1983, and a lot of the townspeople said the Fouke monster was just a hoax perpetrated by Smokey Crabtree. And that kind of painted his thinking about Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And I don't blame him, you know. I'm not saying this to bash my grandfather at all. I would never do that. I loved my grandfather. I still do. But anyway, and then Indy called in and he talked a little bit about the ridicule that he has faced. And then Billy played some sound clips of some of these goofballs who have called his hotline, his Sasquatch Watch hotline, Sasquatch Watch of Virginia, claiming, oh, I've seen Bigfoot right here. And then you hear teenagers laughing in the background. It's a bunch of pranks, obviously. Billy was being pranked, and he knew he was being pranked. But anyway, it was a pretty good show. There was a little bit of tension going on in the chat between Sean and Smiter. Overall, it was fairly well controlled. Although Smiter was putting out some dirty laundry in the chat room, which I don't approve of. Anyway, next week I'm not sure who the guest will be, but it'll begin at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/SasquatchWatchRadio. Now tonight, Bob and Mike are going to be back. They're going to have Bigfoot Quest on, and the description I'm seeing on the website is a call-in show, so it may very well be just that, a call-in show. They may not have a guest tonight, so either way, it'll begin at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, www.blogtalkradio.com/Bigfoot_Quest. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research.